This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Sports postcasts we do. We also do the Locked On Warriors postcast and the Locked On 49ers postcast. But tonight, the Giants entered today looking to help Justin Verlander pick up his first win of the season. Came up short as they fell 4-2 to the Cleveland Guardians. Verlander was somewhat lackluster in his return from the IL, but he wasn't terrible. Gave up 3 earned runs in 4.2 innings tonight at Oracle Park. And meanwhile, the Giants offense continues to disappoint. They were hitless with runners in scoring position. And this 4-game losing skid is now tied for the longest stretch of losses this season for the San Francisco Giants. They've lost 4 of their last 5. We'll break it all down. But first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed. However you're tuning in, we appreciate it. Make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Ben Kaspick, always does a great job. And this was this was just lackluster, man. I mean, like, there's not too much to talk about from tonight's game. The Giants just got beat flat out in every phase of the game. It was kind of a bore to watch. I mean, there wasn't a ton of highlights for the Giants. I mean, you kind of had the Elliot Ramos bomb in the bottom of the 5th as his 2-run shot. I mean, it was a tank. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he got all of that, 108 miles an hour, 420 feet, and it got a little bit of life going in the stadium. But that was pretty much it. I mean, the Giants really didn't have much else going for them tonight. It just wasn't their night. And Verlander, this is starting to become a little bit of a failed experiment with him on the mound, if you're asking me. I know that it's still relatively early for him, considering that he missed as much of the season as he did. But, I mean, we are in the middle to the end of June at this point, and we have nothing to show from Justin Verlander. He is winless on the season, 0 for 4, a 4.45 ERA. And it's not entirely his fault. He has had some moments where he's pitched well and the offense has completely let him down. He also had some bad luck to start the season, a bunch of seeing eye singles and things like that, and errors kind of compounding problems. But we'll get to that a little bit later on in the show. But first, tonight's turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And tonight's turning point came in the bottom of the 3rd inning with Elliot Ramos up and only in no outs in the inning. 1-2 count, he grounds into a double play with runners on 1st and 2nd, and it completely ruins the Giants' scoring opportunity in that 3rd inning. And I mean, the Guardians were already up 1-0 at that point, and it just kind of sucked the life out of that Giants offense tonight. I mean, there were plenty of opportunities tonight for the Giants to score runs. This wasn't the only time that they came up short with runners in scoring position. They were 0 for 6 tonight and left 7 men on base. This is a trend now at this point. This team has not been hitting very well, and you see that as soon as they start to score, 4 or 5 runs a game instead of like 2 or 3 runs a game, they win a hell of a lot more. I mean, they go on these winning streaks as soon as they can get over that like 4-run threshold. And right now, this offense just can't do it. And I do expect that Rafael Devers is going to get going. I mean, it's just his 2nd game as a Giant. He went 0 for 3 tonight. He did draw a walk, so he got on base, and he struck out once. But, I mean, this is a guy who just packed up, moved all the way across the country. It ended poorly in Boston. He had everything just felt wrong for him, and it's going to probably take a minute before things start to feel right in his life in general and here in San Francisco. I mean, he's not going to just jump into the situation and hit the ground running as much as we hoped he would. It's clear that he's going to need a little bit of time to kind of acclimate to things here in San Francisco. We got the fog, we got the cold weather in the summertime. Maybe he's just not used to that June gloom. Whatever it is, Rafi Devers just needs a second to adjust, and he absolutely will. I'm not worried about him. And Willy Adames, the other guy that we've been kind of worried about and waiting for him to acclimate here as well, he's slowly coming around too. Another hit tonight for Willy Adames, only 1 for 4, but hey, hits were sparse tonight. And also in one of the few Giants with multiple hits tonight, there are only 2 Giants who had multiple hits tonight, Pat Bailey, in his return from the IL, picks up 2 hits, and he scored a run on that Elliot Ramos bomb. He did strike out twice as well, but hey, any night that we can get 2 hits out of Pat Bailey, who has really been pretty much an automatic out for a lot of this year at the dish. That's a good thing for the Giants. If this guy can actually start to hit the ball and get on base at all, it will be a big lift, because we already know what he does defensively, and it's hard to continue to justify leaving him in and starting him as often as he does when his bat is as bad as it is. And I'm not advocating to replace Pat Bailey at all. I love Pat Bailey behind the dish. I think that he makes this pitching staff better, and I think that he adds more to the team than he takes away, even though he's been an automatic out in this lineup pretty much this entire year. But if he can start to hit, I mean, it will immediately just squash all of those, all of that stuff that's been bubbling up about maybe the Giants should not bank on Bailey as being the catcher of the future if he can't even hit 200. But I think that this might be a little bit of a turning point for Bailey, having that time on the injury list to kind of readjust some things and get back to being himself at the plate. I mean, last couple seasons, we see the drop off at the end of the year, and I generally attribute that to him being tired. But we have seen Pat Bailey go on stretches in the first halves of past seasons where he has been pretty good at the dish, where he has had some pop, where he's had some extra base hit capabilities. And it would be nice to see some of that before we get to the All-Star break. Now would be a great time for Pat Bailey to start hitting, or really anybody on the San Francisco Giants offense. I mean, it's just on the back of a milk carton right now. This team has been so bad at the dish. And as I said, today, no different. 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, left 7 men on base. He only had 1 extra base hit, and it was that Elliot Ramos bomb. So, I mean, just not a lot to talk about. Like I said, in this one, there was that Elliot Ramos double play that he grounded into, and maybe the Giants could have gotten something going a little bit later on. I mean, they got the leadoff runner on in the 8th inning. They couldn't do anything with that. And the Giants overall today, like I said at the top of the show, they just looked flat, man. Like this team just looked a little uninspiring. And again, Justin Verlander not on top of his game. It is his first start back from IL, but I'm sitting here wondering, is it Carson Wizenhut time? We'll talk about that next on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is sponsored by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. It's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and you start building wealth. It comes with all sorts of surprising insights. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. Now I budget smarter and save more. It comes with all-in-one convenience. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. And it gives you the ease of seamless collaboration. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without all that stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. It's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. And today's show is also sponsored by Trade Coffee. Whether you're gearing up for back-to-back meetings, shuttling kids back and forth to activities, or tackling an endless to-do list, your morning sets the tone for it all. That's why it should start with the perfect cup of coffee crafted just for you. Enter Trade. Trade is the #1 coffee destination in the U.S., delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Whether you're a cold brew fan or a pour-over purist, they've got a roast that you'll love. I took Trade's quiz. It only took me about a minute, and the first bag they sent me was absolutely perfect. Just what I was looking for, spot on to what I look for in a cup of coffee. It was fresh, smelled amazing, and honestly, it has completely ruined grocery store coffee for me in the best way possible. And if for some reason the match isn't perfect, Trade will replace it all for free until they get it just right. And best of all, I love that their prices are comparable to grocery store brands. And it doesn't cost you any more to live this life of luxury. The flavor is on a whole different level. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our customers 50% off of your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. That's TRADE.com/lockedonmlb for 50% off your 1 month trial. drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and tonight the Giants just struggling, man, just really struggling at the plate. And I mean, I can see the frustration in the chat right now. I mean, we got guys calling for trades for Verlander, which is not really going to be not really going to be possible. He has a no trade clause, and I don't think anybody's trading for Justin Verlander based on what he's done this year. So I don't think that's going to happen. And the Giants overall, I mean, just lackluster right now. But I don't think trading Verlander is necessarily the route that they should look to go down. But I do think that they should maybe look to make a change in the starting rotation. I think that's what you'll be talking about after this one.
This is what you'll be talking about.
And I think it might be time to dip down into AAA and go get Carson Wizenhut. We have seen and heard about this kid for a very, very long time. We've seen him down in AAA, and he has been very good this season. I mean, I think it's getting to be about that time where you go down there and you go get Carson Wizenhut, the number 2 prospect in the Giants organization. He's been very, very good this year, and I think that he would be a good addition to this team. I mean, he's got 79 innings pitched down in the minor leagues this year, and he's got a 4.10 ERA, which can seem high, but in the PCL, it's actually pretty good. Those are some pretty hitter-friendly parks, and in the PCL is the best hitting AAA division in all of minor league baseball. So guys have a little bit of inflated ERA numbers there. 4.1 is not bad for the PCL. So I think that it's time. Go get Carson Wizenhut. He's got 71 strikeouts, second in all of the minor leagues for the Giants across all levels. And he, by the way, wasn't the only one to be impressing down in AAA recently. Last night, Grant McCray, Bryce Eldridge, and Marco Luciano all went yard. They all had home runs last night. So AAA, maybe it's time to go get a shot of youth into this lineup, into this pitching staff. I think that that's kind of what the Giants need, is just a spark, just kind of that energy. You remember last year when they brought up Ramos and he kind of clicked, and Tyler Fitzgerald and he kind of clicked, and they kind of propelled this team to a nice little stretch in the middle of the season where they started winning some games. And I think that maybe the Giants need a little bit of that youth injection right now. You kind of see some of it out there. I mean, you have Casey Schmidt and Tyler Fitzgerald kind of battling it out for that permanent residency in the infield after Matt Chapman comes back. I think if Casey Schmidt can get something going, he can probably make a case for himself to be the everyday second baseman, because Tyler Fitzgerald has underwhelmed as of late. His batting average down to 238. He was pretty good at the start of the season, just has not been delivering at the dish lately. And maybe the sophomore slump is just getting to him. Casey Schmidt, he's not doing much better to earn that position, though. He's only batting 218 on the year. He did have those 2 big grand slams in Dodger Stadium, though. So those big moments kind of stand out. And I'm just waiting for one of these guys to kind of do something and take the reins and run with it. It doesn't really look like that's going to happen. It's just going to be whichever one is less unplayable at this point. And there's been other guys that have been, not contributing as much as we had hoped that they would. Jung-Hoo Lee is another one of those. He got moved down to 6th in the order today. 0 for 4 day from Jung-Hoo Lee with a strikeout, that batting average down to just 261. So he has definitely hit a cold stretch here as of late. But again, if half of these guys can just figure it out and start, I mean, I don't need them to go on like a crazy tear like Matt Chapman did just before the injury. I don't need them batting 400 with multiple home runs and extra base hits. I mean, that would be great. But these guys, I mean, if they just even start getting on base at a decent clip, this offense can start generating some runs. I mean, they just need to come up with some hits with runners in scoring position, and that will solve a lot of these problems. I mean, it's got to come from somewhere, right? Whether it's Rafi Devers, Willie Adames, Elliot Ramos has been pretty much the one guy who's been consistent for the Giants this whole year. And again, the one guy who did anything today at the dish. You just need somebody somewhere in this order to step up besides Elliot Ramos. We've been saying this for a very long time. But again, I think the youth injection is probably the direction the Giants need to go. And I don't know how much longer you want to play this out with Justin Verlander. I mean, he does not look like himself. He just does not look very good at certain points in time this year. He hasn't been able to locate very well. That home run that he gave up was pretty much on a pitch right down the middle. I mean, he threw a fastball that was just right in the middle of the heart of the plate, 94.1 miles an hour. Big league hitters are going to be all over that. And Verlander looked kind of surprised when Schneemann was able to hit that one out of the park. I wasn't very surprised. I mean, you throw a ball right down the middle like that to a big leaguer, they're going to make you pay for it. And so Verlander, he's just not really, I don't know. I think I would rather see a Carson Wizenhut at this point instead of a 40-plus-year-old Justin Verlander who's winless in the month of June, knocking on the door of the month of July. I want to see what the farm's got. I mean, I let me see it. Let me see Carson Wizenhut. Heard about him for long enough. I think it should be time to let him get some starts in. Just, I mean, maybe Verlander needs another week to build that arm up or something. Let Wizenhut come in and get a spot start. I would love to see him in the big league Giants uniform. It's about all the time that we got for you guys today here on the Locked On Giants postcast. This was just a very lackluster and boring game, if I'm being honest. I mean, the Giants just didn't have much going for them. Only 6 hits in this one. Had an error. You only generate 2 runs. Verlander still winless. I mean, there's just not a lot to talk about from today's game. It was pretty lackluster. And the Giants offense, I mean, I think that's the best word for it, lackluster. Their 4 losses in a row are the tied for the most that they've had all season long, and they've lost 5 of their last 6 games dating back to that game 2 of the Dodgers series. So they're in a little bit of a funk right now. Hopefully they can get out of it tomorrow. Logan Webb looking to be the stopper and avoid the sweep. Tomorrow, a big celebration, a Juneteenth celebration out at the yard. And before we get on out of here, we got to acknowledge one last thing. Willie Mays. It was Willie Mays's 1-year anniversary since he passed away, and that day was very emotional for me, and I'm sure plenty of other Giants fans. I went out to the yard the day that they opened up the field for everyone to come and just watch the Giants-Cardinals game, sitting out in center field with the big Willie Mays memorial in center field. I mean, I will remember that for the rest of my life, and that was a very surreal experience, and I can't really believe that Willie's gone. I mean, we're so used to seeing him around the team so much, and I see him every day over my shoulder right here behind me. That's Willie Mays. It's one of my favorite pieces of Giants memorabilia that I own, and I love that I get to look at it every single day on this show. And I used to look at that growing up. That was like, I had that in my room ever since I was a small kid, and I've just always held up Willie as the epitome of what it means to be a great baseball player. I mean, a 5-tool player, probably the best 5-tool player to ever do it. And I, shout out Willie Mays. We miss you. And Giants lose this one to the Guardians. Couldn't get it done to honor Willie Mays on today, the 1-year anniversary of his passing. But hey, a chance to stop the skid tomorrow, and no better guy to do it than Logan Webb on the bub. It's all the time that we got for you guys today here on the Locked On Giants postcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. And one last thing, I swear this is it. Shout out to my guy Melvin from the San Mateo Softball League. Ran into him just earlier tonight, and he stopped me and said, "What's up?" And I love seeing people out in the wild that it rarely happens, but people out in the wild that recognize me from the show. If you see me, come up, say what's up. And so shout out my guy Melvin from the San Mateo Softball League. And that's all the time that we have for today. The Giants fall to the Guardians 4-2. And as I said, hopefully Logan Webb can stop the losing skid tomorrow. That's all the time that we got. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.